Hi, hello again everyone. My name is Ananda Ramadhilla and I'm from regular 4A. And this is my presentation. I want to show you a glimpse of British English history. First, everyone keep wondering where does British English come from? English is a West Germanic language that originated from Anglo-Frisian language brought to Britain in the mid-5th to 7th centuries by some Anglo-Saxon migrants from what is now Northwest Germany, southern Denmark, and the Netherlands. The Anglo-Saxons settled in the British Isles from the mid-5th century and came to dominate the bulk of southern Great Britain. Their language originated as a group of Anglo-Frisian languages which were spoken by the settlers in England and southern and eastern Scotland in the early Middle Age, displacing the Celtic language and possibly British Latin that had previously been dominant. Old English reflected the varied origin of Anglo-Saxon kingdoms established in the different parts of Britain. The late West Saxon dialect eventually became dominant, and a significant subsequent influence on the shaping of Old English comes from contact with the North Germanic language spoken by the Scandinavian Vikings who conquered and colonized part of Britain during the 8th and 9th century, which led to much lexical borrowing and grammatical simplification. The Anglian dialect had a greater influence on Middle English. And second, where did the British accent come from? Invasion and migration have to a great extent been a driving force in the development of dialect and accents in Britain. In the 5th century, Germanic tribes from the northwest of the European continent began settling on the island. The settlers consisted of three different people: the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes. Since the first two groups were the largest, the settlers come to be known collectively as Anglo-Saxon. They all broke with the distinct dialects of their native Germanic language. The language we today call Anglo-Saxon or Old English. And the Anglo-Saxon will settle in different parts of England. The Angles mostly settled in the Midland and eastern part of England. The Saxon in the area west and south of the Thames River, and the Jutes primarily in Kent and along the south coast. Over time, this different settlement pattern result in the emergence of different Old English dialects, which again give rise to different accent of the British English we know today. And after knowing a glimpse of the history of British English and where British accents come from, I will also give you an information of the coolest accent in British English and what influenced it. Yes, the Cockney one. Perhaps the most famous British accent other than RP is Cockney. It developed as the dialect of the poorer working classes in the East End of London, and is still regarded as a marker of true East London heritage. Like the Essex accent, Cockney swept the th sound for F, dropped the H in front of words like hat, and elongates vowel like A and E. However, perhaps it's most famous for Cockney rhyming slang, where people replace word with another word that's an abbreviation of an unrelated phrase that rhymes with it, like dog, as in dog and bone to mean telephone. Desire, I know. And naming an accent starting point for the Cockney accent is not easy. It's been slowly developing for hundreds of years now. The word Cockney itself was used as far back as the 15th century, but it was first used to refer to an egg, the word cock referring to a chicken. And through some strange linguistic transformation, Cockney in the West used to refer derogatorily to town dwellers who were considered less hardy than their rural counterpart. In the decades following, the word became associated specifically with the East End Londoner we still call Cockney today. And the accent itself developed through the usual means. It was influenced by various other accents in England, notably the Essex accent and others from around London. There are also Cockney words that were adopted from other languages, including Yiddish and Romani. And there is one feature of the Cockney dialect that is easier to find the origin of Cockney, rhyming slang. We will get into rhyming slang further down, but suffice it to say it's a system of slang that utilize rhyming word and common phrase in a way that can be very confusing to outsiders. Slang started in the mid-19th century in East London, where it was first used by traveling salesmen who flocked their wares on the street. And there are several theories as to why they decided to speak in such way. Perhaps it was a game to catch the attention of passers by and also the competition. A different theory, however, is that the salesmen developed as a means to confuse their customer, leaving them unsure of what they were saying and more likely to part with their trust in a befuddled style. Rumor has it that the same trick also worked when they were confronted by the police for rather more illicit activities. Nowadays, finding a Londoner speaking only in rhyming slang is rare indeed. Yet, many Londoners will often unthinkingly use intents of Cockney rhythm slang, even if their general speech is no longer shaped by the dialect. Thanks for listening to Brief History of British English, and see you another day. Thank you.